Hey, Willie and Pat. Hope you're doing well. First time writing into the podcast. Wanted to ask you guys, what's your favorite fake language in media? And if you prefer, and do you prefer when they have a translation or no? Also, for the person that asked about not playing Fortnite with friends, this happened to me with League and Fortnite. And what I did was play so badly that they didn't want me to play with them anymore, and it worked.
Nice.
There you go. Then this comes from Gonzalo.
Perfect.
Yes, I do. I have... my favorite fake language is that bullshit that Yoko Kanno uses in Green Bird and into Gaia from the Escaflowne soundtrack and in Cowboy Bebop. It is some crazy ass elvish thing, and it's beautiful, and it is simply used because the syllables are nice to hear, and that's the only rule. And I don't believe there's any translations of them.
Man, you fucking took the exact not type, but you took the exact mental path.
There's a second one, yeah.
But it's the fucking whatever fake ass language that what's his name? Scott Dolph invented for one song in Beyond the Bounds.
Beyond the Bounds. That's the other one.
And the language of the ancients.
Yeah.
In Nier.
Yeah, the language of the ancients is incredible.
And if I had remembered, I would have also said the Yoko Kanno one. And if you could tell, it's shut up, it sounds good for the song.
Yeah.
Is our mental process on this.
I mean, I assumed you were going to say Beyond the Bounds, so I went this way with it. But that's it's the same thing. It's just that's what it is. Those are the answers.
Scott Dolph, what's this language mean? I don't know. Sounds good.
Nier, Zoe, Bebop, and Escaflowne. Hell yeah.
By the way, gang, if anybody who doesn't know, Scott Dolph, the guy who wrote Beyond the Bounds, was a localization man who also plays the Marine Commander in Metal Gear Solid 2.
That's true.
He's the black colonel who's Fortune's dad.
It says Scott Dolph under
who fucks Vamp.
That's true. That's true.
Loves to fuck Vamp. Loves it.
Well, he's got luck in his balls.
Yeah. Nope, it was nanomachines.
No, it was luck. No, but it was nanomachines though.
Yep.
What was the? Oh god, I just had another one. Fuck, I lost it. Yeah, it's Exalteus. Is another Yoko Kanno. It's the song that I use in the start of my streams before it cuts to the trash pile. And yeah, it's that gibberish, that beautiful gibberish. Thanks, Gonzalo. Here's one coming in from Cole from Texas.
Hey, Cole.
They're cool, stylish bros. I got a hypothetical. You're familiar with Lieutenant Barclay from Star Trek Next Gen?
Extraordinarily so. How about you, Wolf?
Nope.
Okay.
Shrubby loser who's always fucking up at work and abuses the holodeck for personal power fantasies.
He really abuses the shit out of it.
Would you, if given a holodeck, act out your own personal fantasies in the same way? Pat, would you recreate from your grocery store days and beat people up and make them have to constantly cover your shifts or whatever? Woolie, would you recreate old days with all your siblings and cousins, but program so that they always lose to you at fighting games? So you get really salty about it? Love the new podcast. Keep up the work. Thanks. Sincerely, Cole from Texas.
So actually, when me, Plague, and Paige have watched TNG, and he puts it up on Picardo, and we'll watch it on stream, the holodeck we have all discussed, it is like fiction annihilating in Star Trek.
Okay.
The existence of a holodeck would be annihilatory to society.
Okay.
Because of this question.
Right.
How could
selfish usage?
How could any society continue to exist when
you can create
a fantasy machine exists that
yes.
you can spend your entire life in?
Yeah. The answer is, of course, I would abuse it.
Of course.
Maximum enjoyment. However, recreating old memories just to play them out with more satisfactory endings does nothing for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I know they're not real. I would get zero satisfaction out of that. I would just use it to look at butts.
Yeah.
I just look at butts the whole time.
That's
Can you do that? Can the holodeck
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm in there. That's it. 24/7.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Holodeck is a problem. I can see it.
Yeah. In fact, that's actually usually what it's mostly used for.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that an episode?
That's what Barclay's doing.
Is he looking at butts?
So okay, so I'm gonna
because if he's like, then that guy's he's all right.
So okay. So here's the Barkley episode with the holodeck. It's the episode he's introduced, and he has horrible anxiety.
Okay.
Right. So he goes and hangs out on the holodeck, and on the holodeck, it's like a Three Musketeers type of fucking setting.
Yep.
But he has scanned in every major character from the show to be in this thing. So Riker's really short in this version.
Okay.
And he'll beat them up and he'll talk shit to Picard and all that shit.
Okay.
And here's where it gets like nefarious.
It's like petty, but yeah.
Is that like he has multiple love interests and they are his bosses and he has scanned them in. He's scanned Troy in. He's scanned Beverly in.
Yeah.
And they find out and they are like fucking creeped out, man. It is the Star Trek future equivalent of discovering your fucking roommate's wank pile has like your face like bolted on to some MS Paint images of porn, right? It's creepy. It's super, and they find it creepy.
Shout outs to that one episode of Black Mirror.
Oh God, are you serious?
Where they basically explored what if the camera was in the opposite place?
Okay.
And what if the holodeck and its people that got scanned in are digital copies of people's complete minds?
Oh, that's
so their full personalities are there.
That sounds awful.
That
sounds like that SCP article about the basketball game. If you're familiar with that. Anybody at home who knows what I'm talking about will kind of connect the dots on that.
I'm not. But yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked. No, that's some petty shit, man. You know what's not petty?
Mm-hmm.
Butts.
Well, it depends.
No, it really doesn't.
Some petty butts out there.
No, I've never seen a petty butt. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Not even once. Ruby says, Dear Wolski and Pat Kiasu. Ruby here.
I'll live with that.
Not to shill Tuhu, contrary to popular belief. Just want to let you guys know that the JoJo fan game currently being LP'd, the 7 Stand user, is actually updated several times in the past few years, but nobody has stepped in to translate all the new content.
Oh, that's a bummer.
The new Chaos mode has a lot of funky scenarios that deviate from the original storyline hard, so it'd be a shame for it to go untranslated. Just wanted to ask if you guys could maybe get the word out there on the podcast in the hopes that someone might be willing to jump on it.
Well, consider that done.
There you go, Ruby.
Did you say Tuhu?
Tuhu.
Like, is that Toho?
Yeah, but people write Tu and then HU.
Oh, I see.
Dear Supercastles, Tommy wants to know, did you ever have any teachers or professors who were open fans of video games? I remember once in high school, my world history teacher had an extra credit question on the test about India, asking what figure is notable for his stretchy arms.
That's pretty good. The only teacher I could ever remember even mentioning video games ever was a history teacher that liked Civ.
Yeah.
And that's like the most, yeah, of course he does.
So
of course he likes Civ.
No, we had a history teacher. Shout outs to Jersey Joe. He's awesome. We had our history teacher, Jersey Joe, that like ran D&D campaigns at lunch.
Yeah.
And that classroom was where we would go to play D&D. We'd go to play our Game Boys. We'd play Pokemon. We'd do all of it. It was the hangout for gaming. And it was basically because this was the one teacher on the staff. Pretty old guy, too. But he was the one teacher on the staff that was like, yeah, games are awesome. And then, like, all the younger guys were, like, they were just outside of that age where they'd get it. So, this teacher, Joe would he'd DM, and he would old school DM with the boards up and, right? And do the full-on storytell, and it was great. So,
yeah, in
fact, I believe he's currently DMing with friends of ours that that do their own campaign.
We had one teacher that used to DM some D&D games. He was a physics teacher. He's a big nerd. And then I remember a bunch of friends of mine used to go to those, and then they stopped because the tone of them would get like skeezier and skeezier. And it was like, no, we're not gonna go anymore.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Brad says, what's the greatest length you've ever gone to be rude at someone in an online game? I play StarCraft 2, which doesn't have a chat macro function, but one not to despair, I simply created Excel files full of stupid copy pastas, like the Scott Steiner speech or Yoshikage's monologue, and after determining the character limit in the in-game chat, it turns out it's 255, I copy-pasted bullshit in the game chat, constantly alt-tabbing during the game proper. People I play hate it and get very angry and mad at me and tell me to get cancer. Alternatively, what's your personal favorite example of online trolling? Much love from Brad.
I got one. So, do you got anything, Wolves?
Just the one that is not the answer to the question at all. In which the only time I've ever replied or like I've never sent any bullshit troll. I've never trolled like that. The only thing I've ever interacted with is when I'd get hate from people in fighting games, and like early Dragon Ball was a bunch of that. And I remember deciding to experiment with replying to hate mail on PSN or whatever with tips.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So whatever the person was mad about, I would just tell them. I'd recommend
the legitimate advice version.
So I'd be like, okay, so here's what you were losing to, and here's how you beat it.
That's really infuriating.
And I wanted to see if anyone would reply. I didn't get a single reply.
Of course not.
I figured that would either be, it could go one of two ways. Either someone would be like,
oh, thanks.
Oh, cool. Okay, sorry. Or they'll double down in rage, depending on your personality type. But and either is acceptable. I'm fine with both. So I went for that route on it.
So back in my youth, I used to be back in the wild world of the Xbox Live start at the voice chat experiment. I would occasionally troll people by being the younger, less responsible, definitely not a public figure on the internet version of myself. But the last real batch of shit trolling that I can remember is that in Final Fantasy XIV, there's a lot of group content. In particular, you do 24-man alliance raids quite often. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll set up a text macro. And the text macro will often be accompanied with sound effect 8, which is called Danger Bongos. And a little bongo noise will play. It'll be like, hey guys, the meteor's coming out. Get behind the thing, or whatever, as a warning to other players. However, what you can do as well is that there are some people versed in the wonderful world of ASCII art to this day. And they will post these funny little Moogles or Cactar or what have you with some fucking shit posts in there, such as a Moogle with a farmer hat on that says, I thought this was a farm party. And all sorts of stupid fucking shit. Stupid troll-ass garbage that's not toxic. No. Just on the real bitchy side of passive-aggressive.
Here's the thing, though. How could a chat log possibly be big enough on the screen to show a full piece of ASCII art?
Because you're playing an MMO. And an MMO has a big-ass chat log most of the time. Or people will see a giant parse of ASCII garbage and
so
go,
then they go look at the log.
So then you hit select triangle to bring it up, and then it's just fucking...
To see the full screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
And then you'll see a fucking Moogle with fire coming out of its ass going, great googly moogly, it's all gone to shit. As soon as someone dies, for example.
Right, okay. Text emotes, basically.
That being said, I will say, these players are reviled, but I have to give them credit. Part of the macro system in 14 is that when you macro those text macros, you can macro that text to an ability, right? So you get people that are the scum of the goddamn earth, but I have to respect them, that every single ability that they use will be accompanied by a long-ass anime-style fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Call-out shit.
Okay.
In particular, Astrologians and Dark Knights are the worst. astrologians have 5 or 6 abilities in which they draw a card. And motherfuckers will macro Yu-Gi-Oh quotes to every single one of those fucking actions. So every time they do it, fucking ping will go, an audible ping will go off, and your fucking text scroll will start scrolling like mad with all this weeb garbage.
So wait, the game lets you say a thing every
With
time
a
you
button
use
press.
a spell?
Yeah.
And you can assign both to the same button?
Because it's a macro system. So what you do is you make a macro. And
right, so it's a language.
The macro is /AC bracket, the name of the ability, end bracket, and then any text you want to put underneath.
Got it, yeah, okay.
And you can even set it to party, and then you can set double bracket fucking SE.8 to make sound effect 8, which is Danger Bongos. And Dark Knights turning on their abilities, having these long paragraphs of fucking edgelord, oh, the darkness rises, fucking, oh my god, shut the fuck up!
Can you only see chat from people that are in your group? Or like
well,
from...
this only happens in your group, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're in a group with somebody, you're kind of stuck with them, which is what makes it I want to die. So on the one hand, these people are the worst. On the other hand, they are using the more time-intensive version of what I'm talking about. And the best part about this, so the most common one of these, it's called a raise macro. And what it is that you macro a message to when you pick somebody up from the dead, right? Macros have, okay, this is really, really obscure, but I'm gonna hope that you can trust to follow me on this. So in Final Fantasy XIV, you hit buttons, right?
Yep.
Every 2.5 seconds, you can hit a new button. You see all the icons rotate like a clock, and you can hit them, right? Mm-hmm. There is a little latency give on when you hit that button. So maybe you hit a little early, right? The input will remain in the buffer and proc the input the button as soon as it can, right? So it feels nice and loose, right? Macros are specifically not given that input buffer so that because they don't want people just macroing their characters to be auto-played, right? What this means is that people who are using this on every ability have given themselves appreciably worse controls and less responsive controls than not saying anything at all.
Just to get this fucking...
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Putting the macro in is like removing negative edge from your buttons.
Right, or adding extra frames of
yeah.
lag. Yeah.
And with raise macros, it can cause the spell to not go off in the right order and fail.
Okay.
So they'll have this annoying fucking passive-aggressive fucking, maybe you should get up, but because of the macro timing and latency, the move that they cast to make the move go fast doesn't come out at the right time, and then they slow raise it, and then they move, and then the spell doesn't go off. And so then they do it again. It's, oh my god, it's the shittiest thing in the world.
Wow.
When you have these online games where you give people text control, the infinity possibilities for trolling, like, it's unbelievable.
We can just end it there. Yeah.